Good morning, folks, and welcome back to the channel and Jaunt Day 3, 2025. It's our last day of running around here in central Nebraska for Jaunt. It's every year they got the 300-mile, 3-day yard sale, junk sale. So we're on our last day. We hope it's a little more promising than yesterday. So come along with us, and we'll see what's available today. We're starting off today in Taylor, Nebraska. We're going to do the eastern side of the big loop today. Hopefully we can get a little more things found today than we did yesterday. We're at our first stop, so let's get with it. Looks like quite a few items left, and they have a barn with items in it there as well. This is a neat looking like microwave stand for a kitchen, but it appears to be particle board. It'd be nice if it was solid wood. All you youngsters watching, this is what a radio used to look like. They weren't teeny tiny back in the day, and they had the record player right underneath that would hide away. And the TVs were even bigger than that, and a lot of times they had radios and record players with those as well. Wooden fold-up ironing board, some vintage windows, windmill parts, and some, looks like tire chains, and I don't know what kind of machinery that is there. Some vintage sleds. Here's one of the giant cupcake pans. Here's a cool box. Got the little latch on it here. We'll open it up, and looks like it had some kind of, I don't know, maybe bottles or something. Some water bath canning kettles. More milk bottles with the little metal tray in there to carry them in. Got two of those. I like these for the kitchen to put like olive oil in by the stove. There's a soup cup with the tomato soup recipe right on it. So if you want that recipe, you can screenshot it there. Strap-on skates, 2 sets. Here's a cabbage shredder. Some jugs. A cool mixer, pre-KitchenAid. Had all the attachments and the 2 different size bowls. Back when you used to get shortening in a bigger can, this is 50-pound can of shortening. Lots of oil lamps. Here's a heat diffuser for a propane stove. Our second stop in Taylor, Nebraska, actually booth number 5. They're always pretty good for some junk out front here. I've been looking for one of these, but this one's broke, and all the other ones I've found have been way too expensive. It's a cream separator stand. There's an old trundle machine. It's got the machine still in it, looks like. Of course, I mistakenly said trundle. That's not a trundle, it's a treadle, I think. Trundle is a bed that slides underneath another bed, I think. A whole bunch of used lariats, $10 a piece. You can see they're well used. Pretty cool looking headboard and footboard, all metal. Could be fixed up nice. Some horseshoe rafts Farrier rasps, $3 each, or 5 for $10. There's 5 left, so I might take all 5 of those. I make knives with these. These dryer drums make fantastic fire pits. They're almost smokeless. We used to have one out in California that we would take camping with us. And we sold it before we came out because we didn't have room. Here's a neat propane stove for like canning and stuff. It's only $40. And some more water bath canning kettles. Some horns. Got a lot of live edge lumber in here.
There's some, I don't know whose stuff this is.
Stop number 3 here in Taylor. Got 5 bags of old denim. If you could get these over to Japan, you could sell them for about $100 a pair. Skillets, ice tongs, some horseshoe rack things here, iron, steel wheels and windmill parts. Got some fancy saddles over here, got all the silver on them. Got some spurs, cool wooden bowl or dish. Lots of sheds here, only $2 per side. You cannot beat that price. You'll never find them cheaper. Here's a nice stitching horse here. This is the best one I've seen, most complete in a while. It's got the locking bar, the strap, and everything complete. $500 for that, but understandable as completed as it is. Some vintage camp stoves. Still in Taylor, Nebraska. Got some milled lumber here. Decent prices. This cedar ones are anywhere from $5 to $10. Some nice looking cedar. Stick welder. Used to call those the tombstone welders. They were nice little welders. Worked for a long time on the farm. That one sold. Here's another scale. Looks like it's missing most of the counterweights. Here's the Grim Reaper size here. Wishing well. Pretty sturdy bench there. 75 bucks. Some green pumpkins. Nice doors, homemade doors look like. More doors you could use for like shutters. Cute homemade wooden stools you can use for probably plant stands. An old toolbox complete with a Midwest toolkit. Everybody in the Midwest has one of these on their side. Everybody carries pliers. Now, if you've been around our Junk Jaunt videos before, you know Taylor. I used to call Taylor the town of the creepy people because they have all these black and white portraits around town, the people. And I found out that all of these paintings are of actual town people. So if you see them around, they're actual replicas of people that lived here in the town or still live here in the town. The lady that owns the coffee shop here on the square is the one that paints them. And her husband had moved into town, and they're trying to revitalize Taylor here and put a spark into this community, and they've done a great job. The place is really a beautiful little town. Here at the community center in Taylor, they always have the Cajun food, and it's always a treat, and I might have to have an early lunch. They've got the pies down here, crawfish pies, shrimp pies, and chocolate pies as well, and pumpkin. On the way from Taylor to Burwell, we always stop at the Pea Patch. They've got lots of buildings, stuff out here. This area here by the house is more holiday and crafty stuff. I go out back where the junk is. Got a couple peacocks and even a peahen right there on the left. They're not as colorful as the peacocks. Peacocks are the males. A lot of people don't know that. They think they're all called peacocks. They have a couple of the old retro sinks here. Some other odds and ends. There's the farmhouse sink over there. At the grind and sharpening wheel there. I've never seen an old bedpan with a urinal attachment on it. Got an old greenhouse out here just full of stuff. Here's one of the old ice bags. If you had an acre of paint or something you needed ice for, you'd open that up, throw ice in that bag and put it on you. That's pretty old school there. Nice little mirrored curio there. Only $17.50. It's got the door on it. Pretty neat little display case. Well, we made it just north of Burwell, Nebraska. We're near Calamus Reservoir. There's a bunch of houses up here. And the peculiar thing about the people that live up here, when you ask them, where do you live? They say, oh, we have a house on Calamus Reservoir. Well, none of them live on the reservoir. They're near the reservoir. We're probably a mile away from the reservoir, but even the real estate listings up here say house on the lake. They're not on the lake. Well, we're getting into town here in Burwell, Nebraska, and everything's getting really yard saley. A lot of these places just been a bit better off calling in a dumpster, and they're real proud of stuff. Here's a griddle for one of the 2-burner camp stoves. I remember my dad had one of these for his 2-burner stove. Has the grease wells down in here. 25 cents. They've got some cast aluminum Dutch ovens. I've never seen those before, but got a cast iron one over here. These don't rust, but you got to be careful what you cook in aluminum. Canada Dry. Lots of metal toys, retro toys. Whole table full of them. Well, after all the crappy yard sales in town, we're out here at the fairgrounds and there's a lot better junk out here. We've got quite a few vendors to go through. Number 30 crock. That thing's crazy big. $380 firm. Here's a potato digger, and this one's got a neat function. See this little star wheel down here? Well, it turns as you go across the ground, and this grate right here bumps up and down and knocks the dirt down through and leaves the potatoes on top. Crazy old stroller there. Corn huskers. Lots of kitchen gadgets. I like these old stools and seats. They put the burlap on them. That's a good idea. Be cool looking. Got some old counter stools. Oil lamps and butter churns. Lots and lots of old pots and pans. Kelly found a really cool kind of mixer. Goes right in there, hand crank. Nice.
Never seen one like that.
Scales, crock bowls. Those are really good for making bread. Jugs. Here's a big wide mouth jug. Big water pots, water kettles. Railroad lanterns. irons, some old trucks, wooden pulleys, bottle capper there. Been seeing lots of parking meters this year. There's those little things you put on the bar counter, like when you're in a little restaurant. It keeps all your salt and pepper from falling off the counter. Nail kegs there, and a bunch of old washboards. Cooler cans and milk buckets and old tins. Old kerosene lanterns and sleds. Minnow buckets. Look at these gigantic headlights. Those things are huge. Big as my foot. Some bicycle tanks. They call them tanks. You didn't need tanks, but it made your bicycle look like a motorcycle. Neat lamps made out of grinders. Lots of signage. Whole pile of ice tongs. Nice grinder. Soda pop cases. Got Falstaff beer with the bottles in it. That's one of the old kerosene railroad lanterns. Pretty old school. Metal bed frames with a whole trailer full of old junk. Bicycles, tricycles. Tractor front end there. A lot of people hang those on the wall. A lightning rod there, an old fishing pole. More antlers. Cute 1-gallon little milk can there. Some toolboxes and butter churns. Some more jugs. Some buck saws down there. Crocks, some with lids. These have the churning lids on them. You'd have the butter churn come through that hole. But lots and lots of crocks. Got a whole bunch of Pritchels here. Don't see those very often. Nice old lantern. It's an old embossing machine. Puts a stamp in your papers. Here's a really neat old spring scale. Really cool. Sausage stuffer. Old tack. Hay hooks. Old signs. A bunch of old tubs and milk buckets. Pedal tractors. Branding irons. Jerry cans. Little grabber tongs, lots of steel wheels, windmill parts, whole trailer full of stuff up here, cultivator wheels and other metal wheels, big crazy cast iron pots, hay rake teeth, more signage over here. Alright, we're now south of Burwell, headed towards Ord, one of our regular stop, Old West Antiques. They usually got a pretty good showing out here. More carriage weights down here. Some cool shelf brackets.
Oh my goodness.
Iron fence post toppers. Ornate.
Crown Royal, Royal Crown. And I sold the bottle. Oh, okay. What a mistake.
Trailer full of rusty gold here, and then Kelly found some chickens to visit over there. But that's a pretty cool chicken coop. It says egg drop in over there. Kind of like the Chinese soup, huh? A couple pack saddles for pack mules or pack horses. There's a double tree there. Signage. We are still just north of Ord, Nebraska, and we just scored huge. We're going to make you wait, though, till the end to see that. Sorry about that, but it was a right time, right place kind of thing. We haven't been to this place before, but they've got a lot of good junk. It's not yard sale. And like I said, we found some cool stuff. Kelly got something too. A bunch of wooden canes in a cask. $5 each for a cane. The old metal refrigerator. People like using these for smokers because they're all metal. And gigantic old wrenches. There's a complete kraut cutter. The box is still in it. Shove your head of cabbage in there and get at it. There's a big Hobart meat saw, a little worse for wear. Probably 3-phase also. And then look at this stove. Kelly would love to have that. This old barn out here in the country is an old meat locker. You can see the rail, how it comes out there. And then the rail goes all the way into the locker door there. Big tall locker door. And then this was probably the killing room here. You can see it's got the big gambrel there. Go up, hook on the rail. They bring the animal right into there. Really neat old building. Had a heater for up there for the winter. The 2 ventilation fans. Well, that was a productive stop. It's weird how things you need just fall in your lap. Well, we made it down here to Ord. We're on the north side of Ord here, across from the cemetery. Always a good junk show here too. See what we can find here. There's a nice cast iron plancha for $12. That little car hauling toy will cost you more than that, looks like. Some grinding wheels there. This one here is in great shape. Nice square corners on it. Well, friends, we made our way through Ord. There was a lot more of the yard sale-y type stuff. It was kind of a bust in Ord. Stopped at a few more places along the way. Nothing was real video worthy. We didn't really pick anything up. So now we're just going to head on through down Highway 70 and head towards home. Kelly's getting into her crawfish pie that she got this morning up in Taylor. How is it?
It's good.
She's got a shrimp one too. So let's get home and we'll get unloaded and show you what we got on our final day and show you that big surprise we got today that made the whole day worthwhile for me. All right, we've made it back home. It was nice to get home a little early today, or earlier. So let's go through what we were able to bring home today. All right, Kelly, let's see what we got. Run us through this stuff.
All right. Mark got himself some brass knobs. They're the knobs that are on the end of the horse harnesses for a project.
4 of those.
4 of those. And then these are the tines, the teeth off of
Hay rake.
a hay rake.
For more ornamental stuff, welding projects.
And then some files he makes knife blades out of.
Horse farrier's rafts. Got 5 of those.
And then some spoons for another project. There's
Yep.
going to be a lot of projects.
Another
coming up.
welding project, yep.
A set of antlers. He uses the bottom part of it, portion for knife handles.
And I have a knife project coming up, so stay tuned for that. Got to make one for January.
And then the dogs get these.
Yep, the dogs get the upper parts.
And then some lady cut him a nice deal for free on this old sewing machine, so he can make another sewing machine tractor. And then I got a couple of these jars. I like these for my freeze-dried stuff, specifically the herbs, because they're easy to get into, but they're still airtight. The seals on them are still really good, so.
Yeah, and the metal's not all rusty like you usually find the metal all rusty.
No, they're not antique or vintage.
Yep.
but they work. And then I got Ramona some more clothes. Got her some America shorts.
Yes, ma'am.
A little big yet, I think, but she'll grow into them. We got a Hereford Family Favorites, an old cookbook.
What year was that?
I think it said 79. And the lady I bought it from was actually the one that put it all together, and she was going to sign it as a joke. And I said, go ahead. And she said, no, just know that I sold it to you. Yeah, it's from 1979.
Nice. Had a lot of neat sounding recipes in there that we're going to have to try. We'll share with you guys.
And she was in Taylor, I think. We got some landscape bricks here so that we can landscape around the Kiowa berries.
The blackberries, those will hold back the mulch and keep it out of the yard. What did we get, $1 a piece on those?
I don't know how, no, it was less than that. It was $20 for, I think there was 24.
Oh, 20 for 24, so less than $1 each.
And then I got a brand new steamer cleaner.
Steamer cleaner thingy?
Steamer cleaner thingy. We'll see if it works. I've never heard of this brand, but she cut me a good deal, and it's brand new, and it has a whole box of accessories.
It's got all different tips, right?
Yeah.
You can clean steam clean anything.
Yep.
Be good on the stove.
Yep.
So what else? Oh, we got these corn tunnels here. Somebody had taken and opened them up. So our idea for these is the cabbage worms just go crazy out here eating all of our cabbage. So we're going to put the kibosh on that a little bit. We're going to cover our row, put some row cover on it, some row cover cloth, and make it so the cabbage worms can't get to our cabbage, so we can get a little more of our heads. Now the surprise I told you guys about, we'll get onto that right now. So if you remember, next year we're going to grow some sorghum, and we want to make our own molasses. So in that process, I'm going to need to build a cane mill or a cane press, squeezer, juicer, whatever you want to call it. And that was going to entail some manufacturing on my part. But I found something today that's going to cut down a ton of work putting that together. I'll show you what it is. So look what we found here. Now I don't know exactly what this was used for. This may have been a cane squeezer in its previous life. It looks like something that would do that, but you've got these two big rollers, which I was going to have to manufacture, and they've got these mesh in here. This moves, so you can adjust it. So you can put it pretty tight, and this roller meshes with this roller, so you can get the clearances pretty tight. So it'll squeeze those canes just beautifully. It's already geared down. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'll put in another frame and stiffen everything up. But we've got the makings of a cane juicer right here. So I was so excited to find this. And we asked the guy how much he wanted for that. And he contemplated. I'm thinking he's going to spit out like a $50 price tag. He said $3. I said sold. We threw the money down, and we have this thing for $3. That's going to save me a huge headache, lots of fabrication, and lots of money. So fantastic. It's got a handle here that we can crank, but we're going to make this either electrical driven, or we'll drive it with the old hit and miss motor or something like that. But you can see this is going to be a fantastic cane squeezer, cane juicer. So Junk Jaunt 2025 has come to a close for us anyway. It's still going on for another day. Sunday is actually the last day. Today is Saturday. But we found in the past that Sunday everything's so picked over that we just don't enjoy it on Sunday. We had a real good morning, then we kind of hit a slump in the afternoon going through the big towns. It was mostly people having yard sales, and that's just not my thing. But once you get back out into the country, you start hitting the good sales, and you start finding the good junk again. So we scored today too, so that was fantastic. Hope you enjoyed coming along with us for the last 3 days. We've had a fantastic time. We always enjoy Junk Jaunt every year. Highly recommend it. So Kelly's off tending to the birds already, so we'll close out without her. So come see us here again real soon. We've got a lot more to do here on the farm. Stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Thanks for coming along.